What's good, everyone? OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we've got some awesome information for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And we're starting off with, if you needed any more proof that Pokemon Sword and Shield, despite all the controversies, is going to be massive when it comes to sales, look no further than what I'm about to show you guys. Now, what you guys are seeing right here is the Amazon sales for Japan. And no, this is not a misprint, this is not an error or anything like that. The top 1 through 7 spots in Japan are all different versions or forms of Pokemon Sword and Shield in the best sellers for Amazon Japan. So number 1, you have Pokemon Sword on the Nintendo Switch. Number 2, you have Pokemon Shield on the Nintendo Switch. Number 3, you have Pokemon Sword and Shield Double Pack on the Nintendo Switch. Number 4, you have Pokemon Sword, the digital version on the Nintendo Switch. Number 5, you have Pokemon Shield, the digital version on the Nintendo Switch. Number 6, you have a special edition or some form of special edition of Pokemon Sword on the Nintendo Switch. At number 7, you have Pokemon Shield on the Nintendo Switch, another special form of the game. That is huge. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this before on any type of sales charts at all. To see numbers 1 through 7, all different versions of Pokemon Sword or Shield, is absolutely incredible. This game is going to have a massive launch in Japan. We just saw Death Stranding, for example, that sold over 185,000 units in Japan in its first week based on the recent Famitsu sales charts. So that's a pretty good launch. But look at where Pokemon Sword and Shield is at this point in Japan. And that's just Amazon retail, which I'm not 100% sure, I don't think is actually counted in the Famitsu sales charts. So imagine if it's like this on Amazon.com. The retail stores is even going to be crazier. And the big thing here is going to be how it compares to previous games in the series. If we look at Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, that didn't have the biggest debut in Japan in terms of sales, but it did okay after all, but not as big as some of the previous games on the Nintendo 3DS. Now that we're back to the mainline normal way of playing the games, I think that this is going to be a massive launch. If you look at Amazon here in the US as well, once again, Pokemon Sword and Shield taking the top spots, and the double pack is also in there in the top 10 as well. So it's crazy to see, but at the same time, it's Pokemon, right? Pokemon has always been big. There's a lot of people who kind of casually play Pokemon who aren't into collecting every single one out there and who just want to play a great Pokemon game, or who just want to play a Pokemon game and they want to play it on their Nintendo Switch. So it makes sense to see Pokemon still do well, or probably still going to do well. Now, I do also want to address a couple other things that I've seen out there, because you guys saw my video yesterday with Pokemon Sword and Shield where we talked about the review roundup, which is pretty much still the same, guys, still 81. So we'll have to wait and see for more reviews that come out there. And also people talking about like potential Game Freak line and stuff like that. I don't want to retread on all of that. You guys can check out my video if you want to see it there. But then there's also videos floating around of like stuttering and like all sorts of stuff, but people are playing hacked versions of the game. Guys, there's too much crazy stuff out there with Pokemon Sword and Shield. The fan type of backlash and people trying to take advantage of the situation, people hacking and doing all sorts of stuff to the game in order to make it slow down or in order to show certain things. It's just crazy. I would suggest just playing the game on your own or watching a streamer that you know and trust, because the Australian version of the game launched already, right? So people bought up Australian eShop cards and are playing the game and are streaming the game on Twitch and all that. So watch one of the guys that you know has an official copy, that you know isn't crazy when it comes to the national decks and all that stuff and tries to input certain things, right? Just watch somebody like that. I think like Shofu's streaming, and I think Zero's going to be streaming as well. So watch those guys. And of course, I'm going to be streaming the game later. If you're watching this on Thursday, depends on when you're watching it, but I'll be streaming the game pretty much this week on Twitch as well. So just, yeah, just like I would do that, guys. I wouldn't necessarily kind of feed too much into all the craziness if you're excited for the game. Now, if you have legitimate complaints and you have a problem, then that's cool. You know, then don't buy the game, or you can voice them, do whatever you need to do. That's completely fine. I have no problem with that. But just be careful with the information that's out there, because now we're starting to see YouTubers make even more videos on information that might not even be accurate. So yeah, just be careful out there, guys. And if you're excited for the game, enjoy it. If you don't care about it, then don't care about it. I mean, it's like Death Stranding at the end of the day, right? I mean, I bought the game game, and I figured out a way to make it a bit more fun for me. Not my type of game overall, but still, it's cool. People can still like the game if they want to like it. They can still say this is the greatest thing ever. That's fine. It's just a game at the end of the day, right? So what do you guys think about this when it comes to Pokemon Sword and Shield and these sales numbers? I'm guessing that in Japan, it's probably going to do 1 million, well over 1 million in the first week. I think it's going to be pretty crazy to see this game's sales. And for like the first actual one on Nintendo Switch, I think people are going to have a lot of fun with it. So what are you guys' thoughts with Pokemon Sword and Shield and what's going on with the sales? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. All right, and moving on to the next topic here. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate version 6.1.0 update is now available. And guys, there are so much, no, not really. There's not a lot of things to talk about with this one, but the update is available. You need to make sure that you update your game 6.1.0. The update fixes a rare occurrence where Terry Bogard's super special move, Buster Wolf, connects with another fighter and causes both Terry and the opposing fighter to be unable to move. That's not good. You can see a screenshot of the patch details right here, and really there's nothing else with this update, guys. It's just that right there. Now you have to remember though, if you have any replays or anything like that, make sure you archive them, otherwise they will be lost forever with this new update. And I think the reason why Nintendo does that is because they don't want people showing off stuff that isn't available anymore or isn't really in the game in new patches, right, or in new things, because they fixed that. So that's the reason why that they wipe that out or make you say, hey, make sure you save it if you want to do that, because that is old. So that's my thought process on that one. But either way, I do really like Terry. I mean, I think I can talk about this just for a bit because I've been using Terry quite a bit, and there's something that I like about him more than like Ryu and Ken. I'm not really sure. I can't put my finger on it. I think maybe it's because of the OK meter, right, to where you can get those special moves, the Paladin Geyser and the Buster Wolf. There's just something about that. The classic King of Fighters, Terry Bogard. I think it's because of the anime as well, because I was a big fan of the Fatal Fury anime and Terry Bogard and the story there. So I think maybe that's what gets it for me, but it's a lot of fun. If you haven't tried out Terry yet, make sure you go out there, get the Fighter's Pass, download it, pick up Terry. And if you're an old school fighting game fan, this might be the character that gets you into Super Smash Bros. This might be the character that you're saying, okay, I've got a character that I can use because I'm used to doing double quarter circle inputs and other type of inputs in fighting games, and that can get me into this character because he has all sorts of cool combos that you can do in the air, cool combos that you can string up together with down tilts and forward tilts and Buster Wolves. It's awesome just to play, and when you connect with one of those special moves, it just feels great. It really does. He's one of my favorite characters to use in the game. Now, on how he is competitively, like in terms of viability, that's obviously like yet to be seen. I think that he has the moveset, but man, getting back to the stage can be a little bit difficult for Terry, but he's really strong on the stage, especially once he's at 100%. And he's not like he dies super early or anything like that in terms of his weight size, so he's going to stay alive for a little bit as long as you can get back to the stage. So what are you guys' thoughts on Terry and everything, man? I think he's a lot of fun to use. What are you guys' thoughts on the recent 6.1.0 patch? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. All right, now moving on to the last topic here, guys. We've got some new information on Trials of Mana. I am extremely excited about this game because it just looks awesome, and this is exactly what Square Enix needs to do in order to capture their old school fan base back. Look, guys, Final Fantasy VII Remake is not the only big remake coming out in 2020. This one right here, Trials of Mana, has the opportunity to be just as good. Considering the type of game this is, people just don't know about it as much because it never launched officially here in the US on the Super Nintendo. We got it on the Mana Collection, but that was how many decades later, right? So people have been literally waiting for this game here in the US to play in English. They've been waiting for it for so long, and we got a taste of it with Trials of Mana, right? The original on the Super Nintendo with the Mana Collection, but this is the remake. This is it reimagined. This is our reward for waiting this long for this game, and you know what? I think maybe it was worth it considering how beautiful this game looks. So let's go ahead and get into some of the story elements of this game. So when the world was shrouded by darkness, the goddess of Mana drew forth the sword of Mana to smite the 8 Bevidons, monsters of destruction. She sealed the horrors inside the 8 mana stones, bringing the realm back from the brink. Weakened by rebuilding the world, the goddess changed herself into a tree and fell into a deep sleep for many years. However, the forces of evil soon fought to free the Bebedons to gain control of the world. They started a terrible war to further their plot and destabilize the kingdoms. Mana itself began to disappear from the world, and the mana tree started to wither. So it has that, and on top of that, there's going to be a bunch of cool classes to strengthen, whether you want to go light or dark in order to be able to have more defenses and heal, and also to go dark in order to kind of bolster up your character through stat buffs and everything. So there's multiple different classes, multiple ways to play, fully reimagined 3D graphics. And like I stated before, if you watched my live stream the other day, which many of you guys probably didn't because I was only on Twitch, I got a strike on my channel, so I can't stream on here. But what was so cool about this is because we don't need remakes the level of Final Fantasy, and we don't need 10, 15 year crazy graphics split up into parts. We can take PS3 quality level graphics on remakes of some of these classic franchises. We can take that and people will be happy with it. Obviously, Final Fantasy VII Remake is legendary and it's going to sell like crazy. I'm going to be getting the game myself too. I'm looking forward to it. But games like this can be done in a shorter time period, can also have a more connection with fans because it has the whole game on there. There's just so much good stuff that can come from doing stuff like this. So I love that Square Enix has been doing that with Business Division 11 and kind of looking at their back catalog and saying, what can we do to bring back some of these awesome games? So I absolutely love it. So what are you guys' thoughts on all the different topics here, from Pokemon Sword and Shield about to do crazy numbers, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and Trials of Mana? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future. And subscribe to PlayerEssence for the latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you guys for the next one. Peace.